All right. So, welcome to this very first live stream of the Open Digital University. And like I wrote in my Facebook group, it's going to be mostly a stream versity. So, we're going to provide a lot of courses for free on these live streams. And of course, when the live stream is over, it will become a regular video on YouTube. So you can enjoy if you were not able to attend the live stream, or you can watch the replay, which is something I always recommend because it takes repetition to learn. So in this very first live stream, I have no idea how long it's gonna last, but it'll go on for as long as I can, a couple of hours, because I want to teach you everything that I know about business, marketing, sales, so that you can succeed. Just in case I step out of the house today and I get hit by a truck, which is really a funny um, a proverb or a saying, because there's more chances that I'm gonna hit by a small car than a big truck. So, anyways, today we're gonna talk about the foundations of business and how you can learn business easily with Super Peter. Now, first of all, I created the name Super Peter because I'm sick and tired of the old Peter. I need to 10x my value production, my income, my lifestyle. So, Super Peter is the new name that I'm giving to myself. This is the future self that is 10x or even 100x bigger than the old Peter. So sorry, old Peter, you're gone. Okay, so who is this? Who am I targeting with this uh, live stream? I'm targeting people who are serious enough so that they will be willing to let go of their ego, and they will learn business from me, a business master. And they have to let go of their ego, because sometimes you might be, I don't know, a manager, a software engineer, an architect, whatever, and you might be making $80,000 a year, 100,000, 120, 150, but that's nothing compared to your business potential, because you have to understand that whatever um, whatever income you're making right now, it's only 5% of the income you could be making if you learn more about business. And we're going to see later on how marketing and sales can 10x or even 20x your income. Now, just a couple of seconds, I'm just going to share this live stream with people on in my Facebook group. So hold on just a second, please. I need to share this live stream with people in my Facebook group. So I'm just going to grab it here. Hold on. It's more fun when you have people um, participating. Sorry, guys, I should have done that at the beginning, but okay. So I invite them to watch me live on YouTube right now. And the reason why I call it business secrets is that there's nothing really mysterious about what I'm teaching. It's a secret because it's never been taught in any school. And I know that for a fact because I spent 3 years at McGill University. I paid $15,000 in tuition fees. And I had to quit my $40,000 job. Today, it would be 53,000 in today's dollar value. So I quit, like, my full-time job at the time for 2 years. So I lost like over $100,000 in income to get a business education. I thought I was getting a business education, but damn it, I just learned how to manage other people's business. So that's why I'm very confident in telling you that what I'm teaching you actually works, and it's really business secrets that I've learned through my own personal experience. and through reading like over 1,000 business books. There's not a single seminal business book out there that I haven't read and studied extensively. So what you're learning here is extremely powerful. It's really up to you. I'm not forcing anyone to learn, but it's up to you to learn these secrets and apply them in order to make money. So the first thing to understand about business is that you cannot grow your income unless you grow personally. And my very first personal development guru, if you will, mentor, author is Brian Tracy. And in one of his books, Brian came up with this acronym. And he discovered this by interviewing hundreds of successful people, multimillionaires, and he came up with this extremely powerful framework that I want to share with you. Hopefully you're going to share it with your children, your coworkers, your friends. So let's go through these secrets, because if you're not strong and growing and expanding as a person, there's no hope for you to make money in business or in your freelancing or in your career. You've got to really master these secrets. So the first thing that Brian shared is that you have to have a sense of purpose. So that's what the first S here stands for. If you don't have a sense of purpose, you don't know, what you're trying to achieve or what your mission is, then it's not going to be powerful. You're missing a very important component of your foundation, right? So you have to have a sense of purpose. For some people, it's to empower and inspire women. For other people, it's a charity. For me, it's to make my calligraphy programs available to every single kid in the world in their own language. A little bit like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, but in my case, it's not the personal computer, it's calligraphy. That's one of my goals. The other mission is to create the Open Digital University to make business and management knowledge available to every human on this planet, and that means 8 billion people. So I have two purposes. One is calligraphy, the other one is business knowledge, to empower people to become financially independent, financially free, and financially abundant. So what is your sense of purpose? What is your goal? What is your mission in life? I learned from Steve Pavlina a very simple technique for discovering your mission or your purpose in life. Steve Pavlina is the creator of a personal development website, and he said that think about what you want to achieve in life and keep thinking, keep clarifying your value until you get to a point where you can envision yourself making an impact in the world and you start to have tears in your eyes. I know this sounds funny, but the tears in your eyes will reveal to you, will signal to you that, this is what you were born to do. And therefore, you're going to go after it because it's the purpose of your life. So that's a very clever shortcut to discovering what is the purpose of your life. If you say the purpose of my life is to raise my kids so that they become responsible, and you don't feel that that emotion, then that's not the purpose of your life. Having kids is great, getting married is great, starting a family is great, but it's not your purpose in life. So the second letter, E, stands for effort, and this is something you have to keep making no matter how successful you are right now, because um, whatever your level of income, it's only 5% of your potential. 5%. So you have 95% that is out there. The money is reserved for you. You just have to make the effort, go out there, promote yourself, market yourself, sell yourself to capture that 95%. But it takes effort, consistent effort. The third letter, C, stands for contribution. You have to contribute. I remember a strategic LinkedIn workshop that I gave at the the McGill School of Continuing Studies, and I was telling the participants that if there's one thing you retain from this workshop, it is that LinkedIn is all about contribution. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot just go on LinkedIn and use it as a leads database and just start pitching to people. This is totally wrong. You have to contribute first. You have to add value to their lives first. You have to help them first before you ask for something. And 99.9% of LinkedIn users don't get it. They refuse to contribute. They just connect to me on LinkedIn because I have 20,000 connections, and they're just pitching something totally the wrong thing to do. Now, of course, there are exceptions. If they're offering me, like, I don't know, like a free gift, I'll take it. But usually they're selling something. I don't understand what they're selling. I don't know who they are. I don't trust them. And they start pitching right away. So that's a major mistake. And by the way, when you're missing one of these 7 secrets of success, you're robbing yourself, because these are the foundations of success, right? So you want to master these 7 foundations first before you go out there. If you're a parent, a father, a mom, I strongly recommend that you watch this video again, this portion about the secrets with your children, and teach them. Because today it's so easy for teenagers to get distracted on Instagram, WhatsApp, what's not, Snapchat, you know, TikTok. Children are not getting the foundational knowledge for them to succeed. So please teach your children these secrets of success. The 4th letter is responsibility. Whatever is happening in your life, especially in the area of career, jobs, finance, you have to take 100% responsibility, not 90%, not 98%, but 100% responsibility. And that's how you're going to succeed. And by the way, a lot of people might think, to take responsibility, it's like having a burden, but it's not a burden. It's really like you grab the steering wheel with both hands, and now you're in control of your life. So responsibility really equals control. You have control of your life. So, for example, there was a story Jim Rohn tells to his audiences. He says that one of his mentees came to him and said, "Jim, this job, that's all they're paying, and Jim said, "No, it's all they're paying you," right? So it's not the job that pays you, you pay you. So if within your job, you contribute more value, then they will pay you more. Or if they don't, then outside of your job, you can contribute more value and you can generate a second source of income. So it's all dependent on you. So when I say that, you have to take responsibility 100%, whether you accept this or not, you are responsible 100%. So you might as well explicitly accept the responsibility. You might as well accept it, 100%. Hold on just a minute, just in case. Speaking of responsibility, I'm going to use my phone to record this live stream in case there's something wrong with YouTube. It could happen, right? So I'm taking responsibility to ensure the quality, to ensure that I preserve this extremely valuable business live stream. So responsibility, take 100% responsibility for your dating life, for finding your spouse, your husband, your wife, for your children's well-being, for your income, for getting a job. You are 100% responsible. Now, in a future video, I'm going to teach you a very advanced video teaching you that there's nobody out there. All the people out there, they're just images, they're just holograms. The only player in this video game, which you call your life, is you. You are the player. You hold the joysticks, the console, whatever it is. You are playing this video game. You are the star. So a lot of people think that Elon Musk is a big shot. No, I think I'm the big shot, and Elon Musk is just a player, a very important player in my video game. You have to think like that. You are the star. You are not a secondary character. You're not an extra in the movie called Elon Musk. I'm not on Elon Musk's planet. He's on mine. He's on mine. He's on my planet. Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, Grant Cardone, all these people that I respect, but still they are on my planet. I'm responsible for everything that's happening to me in the past, now, and in the next 20 years. You got to take responsibility. So this is extremely, extremely important. I don't care what's going on in the economy, whether the US economy is going to crash, have a recession. I don't care. I'm responsible for my income. I'm going to keep expanding. So that's the power that comes to you when you take responsibility. Okay, the next one is excellence. You have to practice, practice, and practice until you achieve excellence. How do you know that you've achieved excellence? Well, that's when other people tell you, you're truly excellent. When they're giving you an award, when they're giving you a prize, when you achieve something in terms of income. Like, that's a great thing about money. Nobody can dispute the money that you're making. Once I created a virtual training firm generating $100,000 within 4 months. I worked only less than 2 hours per week. That's proof. And if I did it once, I can do it again. I can do it 10 times better. That's excellent. So don't just do something every day. Like, most people have a job, they just do something. They know how to do it, but you got to practice every day. So you have to do something at least like 1,000 times, or you have to uh, practice something for at least 10,000 hours before you can become an expert. You're not even excellent, you're just an expert. And then you compete against other experts, as in the Olympics, and then you achieve excellence. You get a gold medal, like what I got when I was 17, valedictorian gold medal. But you got to aim for excellence. The people who have jobs right now, they're not excellent, they're competent, and that's not enough. To be competent will get you a job, but if you want a fortune, you got to be excellent. This is something that Grant Cardone has never talked about publicly, but when you watch everything that he's doing, his logo, the value of his YouTube broadcast studio at home, he paid $150,000 for that studio. Everything about Grant Cardone is excellent. His wife, his two kids, his plane, everything is about excellence, right? So you got to aim for excellence. And if you don't have friends who are ambitious and aiming for excellence, then you have to let them go. You have to connect with people who value excellence, who value being number one. I mean, I have friends that I no longer talk to because they're not really aiming to be number one. I think I only have one friend, a graphic designer, who's aiming to be number one, but everybody else is just floating along. Like, they don't take responsibility for what's happening to them. So you can identify the excellent people, or the people who are aiming to become number one, by the amount of effort that they're making, the amount of contribution that they're making to people around them, you know, and by the crystal clear sense of purpose that they have, that they're exuding in their life. So identify the excellent people in your life and hang around with them, ask them questions, and help them and allow them to help you. If you don't have excellent people in your personal Facebook network or LinkedIn network, well, you go on you go on LinkedIn and you find those people, and you go on YouTube and you listen to the excellent people, the Alex Hormozy, the Grant Cardone, the Brandon Burchard is not active anymore, but I used to learn from Evan Pagan. These are excellent entrepreneurs that you can learn from, and you can read books. I'm going to recommend a lot of books from excellent authors that you can learn from. Okay, so that's excellence. The next one is time. You have to manage your time. People ask me to do consulting for them. Right away, I tell them $200 an hour. If you don't have that budget, please don't talk to me. I don't talk on the phone. I don't waste time. Send me a text. Tell me what you need. It's yes or no. It's very clear. So the value of my time is at least $200 if you want to talk to me. If you value my knowledge, you have to put up the budget. Otherwise, I don't have time. So it's very important that you treat your time in that manner. Like, what is the value of your time at work or outside of work? What is the value of your time? It should be infinite. And I'm going to put 200 plus per hour if I'm interested in the project. So you send me a text, it's yes or no. It's very clear. I don't do phone calls. I don't do Zoom calls. Just a waste of time, right? I'm a little bit like Mark Cuban. He does all his business through text messaging. So value your time. Do not give away your time. You know what? Because it's worth more than money. There are people on Facebook. This lady sent me a text. Hey, Peter, do you have time for a chat? What the hell? I don't have time. Do you have $200? No. Well, sorry, ma'am. I can't talk to you. You have to pitch to me something of value so that I will give up my time 1 minute at a time, because my time is extremely valuable. I remember the movie A Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe, he plays the role of John Nash, and the first thing he tells his students is that my time has infinite value, so don't waste it. And you have to have that attitude. Don't waste time on YouTube. If you watch a YouTube video, like I often do, educational video, motivational video, I always take notes. If you watch a YouTube video and you don't have a pen in your hand and you don't have a notepad, you're wasting your time. You're not gonna remember what the person said. It could be a great, inspiring person, like I don't know, Brandon Burchard, Eben Pagan, Alex Hormozy, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. These are great people, but if you don't have a pen in your hand and a notepad in front of you, and you're not taking notes when you're watching a YouTube video to learn from, you will forget. And so you're just wasting your time. In the same manner, right now, are you taking notes from this extremely valuable video that I'm teaching you? Are you taking notes? If you're not taking notes, you have to grab a pen and you have to grab a notepad. Sorry if I'm being a little bit aggressive, but I see so many people among my friends, so many people fail in life. And you're failing in life, again, I don't mean to be insulting, but you're failing in life if you have to show up 5 days a week working for the man to enrich him or her. You enrich the business owners. You're not thinking strategically. You are wasting your time in a job, because there are so many business opportunities out there. AI is going to help you to make money, but you're wasting your time working for somebody else who will never, ever make you rich. Your boss, your employers, your coworkers, they will never make you rich. That's not their intention. My intention is to help you to make money from artificial intelligence and from the social media and digital marketing, which I used to teach. My intention is to help you to get rich. So when you meet people and it's clear to you that they're not aiming to make you rich, well, you have to find the people who will actually help you to get rich. You have to respect yourself and love yourself enough to teach those people, sorry, not to teach those people, but to meet those people and have them teach you what they know. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I could charge a lot of money for this webinar, but I'm live streaming on YouTube because I don't care. I'm making enough money. I'm financially free. I don't need a job anymore. So I want to teach you how you can make money. But here's the funny part. You and I are the same. I have to create a separate live stream to explain that you and I are the same. We are of the same mind. So when I help you, I'm helping myself. Look, if you didn't exist, this live stream would not exist right now, because you exist, because there are people like you out there who hunger for this kind of knowledge. That's why I'm creating this live stream, and I'm sure, 100% sure, it's going to benefit you, but it's benefiting me also, because I have all of this content which I can package later on in so many ways, and I'm going to sell this content, but right now it's free for you. So you have to and that's my purpose, by the way, to help people, but I'm helping myself too, because we are the same. So thank you for being here. But you know what? Whether there's one person watching this live stream or the replay later on, or whether there's a million people, it doesn't make a big difference to me, because this live stream will exist as a regular YouTube video. It's going to promote me till the end of time, right? So, I'm just working once, and the YouTube video created from this live stream is going to promote me forever, right? So, of course, it's a great deal. And I'm not even working. Dude, this is my purpose. This is my play. I'm having fun talking. I know it sounds crazy if you get into my condo right now and you see, like, Peter, what are you doing? Are you talking to the wall? No, I'm not talking to the wall. I'm talking to millions of people. So anyways, so the next one is the S, and it stands for, can you guess? It stands for self-development. This is so important. I'm going to put it in big letters. Self-development. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to learn all the skills. You got to test yourself. You got to take all the courses that are required. Now, don't be like a lot of people. I'm sorry, but most of my digital marketing students have been deceived into getting into a digital marketing program where they're learning a lot of stuff they will never, ever use in their career. And that's not just the college where I'm teaching. It's been a great college to me. I appreciate that. It's a mistake that all the colleges and universities out there are making. They're teaching kids, students, tons of stuff, and 95% of what they're learning and they're paying good money for is wasted. So when it comes to self-development, you have to identify the knowledge that you need, the skills that you need, and they depend on your business model. We're going to talk about that later on. But you've got to have a clear business model, and then you have to know exactly what skills you need to develop, in terms of self-development. What skills do you need in order to succeed in your particular business model? You know what? I'm going to do that right now before I forget. So let's say that your business model basically is composed of three generic processes. Doesn't matter what business you're starting. If you want to serve people and make money, you have to focus on. This is a workshop that I developed thanks to my sister Zuni. I'm going to talk more about Zuni and how she's going to change the lives of women later on. But this is something that she helped me to develop, I think, in 2006. And basically, this business model workout, I call it business model workout for BMW attracts people's attention, of course. So it's called a business model workout because, first of all, you've got to have a model. You've got to put it on paper. So this is the model. And the working out means that you've got to go out there and you've got to test it, make sure that it works, because a business is simply a machine, a money printing machine, a customer acquisition machine. That's what a business is all about. And it doesn't matter what your business model, what your business is. It simply requires marketing. So this is where you generate leads. So after you do your marketing campaign on, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you must have a lead. So what is a lead? A lead is contact information. Could be the email of a prospect. It could be their phone number, so you can text them and call them. It can be their address. It has to be some identifier that will allow you to communicate with that lead. And when you communicate with them, you have a clear sales process, right? I'll talk more about that later. You have 5 steps in that sales process so that you can turn the lead into customers who are paying you. So that's the money. So marketing generates leads, and the sales process that has 5 steps will generate money for you. That's when you have money. And after you have money, of course, you get into production mode. P, production. You produce the value or the service, and you're going to be able to create a happy customer. So you look at this happy face. That's what you're aiming for, okay? This is what you're aiming for, the happy face. And of course, when they're happy, they're going to come back. And that's why you see the dotted line here, the dotted arrow coming back. So when they come back, they don't have to go through marketing and sales. They're already sold. So the easiest person to sell to is someone who is already sold, who already bought something that you offered them before. So this is the basic business model. Now, within this generic framework, you can have, the affiliate marketing model. You can have drop shipping. You can have the reseller rights. There are like at least 22 different business models, and I'm going to talk about these 22 business models later on. You can also have the professional services. You're a consultant, a coach, a webmaster, etc. So for each business model, you will need specific skills. So you have to identify the skills that you need for each of these different business models. So for example, for affiliate marketing, you have to be able to write, right? You have to create a blog or a YouTube video to generate traffic. For drop shipping, you have to develop the skill of identifying the products that are selling on Alibaba. That's drop shipping. For reseller rights, you have to identify the good ebooks or video courses or software programs that people really want so that you can resell them, reseller rights. And for professional services, you have to be good at selling, because when they're buying your services as a web developer, as a marketing sales funnel designer, as a salesperson, whatever, they need to meet you, because you as the person, you are part of the service. So you have to be able to sell yourself. So you can see that for each business model, there's a different set of skills that you need to learn. And so if we go back to my original um, concept here, self-development, it doesn't mean that you go out there and you read all the self-help books out there. There are just too many. You have to identify the skills that you need in order to succeed, and it really depends on your business model. All right, so let's do a recap. And I strongly recommend that you memorize this framework, and you can play a game with your friends and you can test each other, but you have to memorize these 7 keys to success. And this is something I've memorized since I was 20, when I first came into contact with Brian Tracy. I think the first book that I read was Maximum Achievement, and that's where I learned the secrets from Brian Tracy. So you have to, there's no shortcut. You can watch tons and tons of videos online, but at some point you've got to commit to a framework that allows you to develop your person. Because like I said, if you are not growing, your income ain't gonna grow. Like, your income cannot grow unless you grow. So if you look at your income and it's not growing like every week or every month or every year, you know, then there's only one conclusion: you are not growing. You are not growing. That's why your income is not growing. I met a guy, Christian, and when I was teaching in 2015 for the English Montreal School Board, and he was a speaker invited to our professional sales course, and he shared a very powerful testimonial. And he was the leader of a network marketing company, and they're legit. It's not a Ponzi scheme. He was selling something legit. And he said to me, Peter, before I succeeded, I didn't read any books. After I started reading books, that's when my business exploded. So that's just one example. But you look at people like Elon Musk and all the successful people, Bill Gates, they're reading books, they're networking, they're attending webinars, they're developing themselves. So Christian was just telling me that the more knowledge you have, the more income you will have. So when I say that you have to grow as a person, I don't mean in terms of muscles. I don't mean you have to go to the gym and accumulate more muscles, or no, I mean the growth of your knowledge. And knowledge, unfortunately, in Western society, it's something that is divorced from people's person, right? So in the West, I just want to share with you, because this is very, very dangerous. In the West, we have this notion that, this is you're a person, right? And your knowledge is right there. It's hanging on the wall, and it's called a diploma. But this knowledge, your diploma, is divorced from yourself. It's separate from yourself. In the East, this is how they conceive of knowledge. Knowledge is inside of your head. If you're not able to do a live stream like what I'm doing right now and share your knowledge, it means that you don't have knowledge in your head. It's somewhere in the books, in your diploma, in your exams, which you got an A for, but it means nothing. The knowledge has to be in your head. You have to be able to use the knowledge in your head to create value, to teach people. And later on, I'm going to teach you 5 basic ways to make money. 5 ways to make money from your knowledge. But the knowledge has to be in your head. Like, you can come and take away my very nice McGill diploma, Bachelor of Commerce from McGill. I paid $15,000 for it. You can take it away and it wouldn't matter to me, because I can just show up in any live stream. I can show up in any classroom. I will get paid at least $80 an hour to teach whatever I know. Once I gave a sales boot camp for 2 hours. I charge $1,000 for it, because I have the knowledge. I've done it, and therefore I can show people step by step. 1, 2, 3. Here's what you got to do in order to succeed. I have the knowledge. I have the recipe. I have the track record, the results. And when I show people what I can do in calligraphy, sales, marketing, copywriting, they hire me on the spot, because I have the knowledge. So do not fall for this notion of knowledge in the West, which is something that is external to you. It's got to be in your head. If I woke you up at 4 in the morning and I grab your shoulder and I tell you, hey John, you got a webinar and there's 100 people who are waiting for you in a Zoom call, and you got to show up and you got to teach something. What is the topic that you're knowledgeable about that you can teach spontaneously, even if I wake you up at 4 in the morning? Of course, I'm considerate. I'm going to give you a cup of coffee, but you got to show up in a Zoom session like what I'm doing right now. This live stream has been going on for 35 minutes. I can go on for the next 8 hours because I have so much knowledge to share with you. So even though I read like over 1,000 business books, translation, I don't have a social life, uh, it's not the number of books that I've read that determine how smart I am in terms of my business IQ, my marketing IQ. It's the fact that I can teach spontaneously without any PowerPoint. I never taught anything by using a PowerPoint slides, which is crazy. Like, can you imagine Bruce Lee in a dojo or Steven Seagal in a dojo and showing their students, okay, guys, let's go to slide number 3. This is what you got to do. No, Bruce Lee would do a demonstration live. Steven Seagal would do a demonstration live. Jean-Claude Van Damme, whoever. Actually, Jean-Claude is not a teacher, but if you're really a master at your craft, you would be able to teach and demonstrate and prove to your students beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are truly the master of your skill. You can do it spontaneously. Like when I decided to create this live stream, I had no idea what I would teach, but I go with the flow. You've got to get to that level of mastery where you just show up and you demonstrate your skills and people are impressed. I remember once teaching email marketing, and I was teaching students how to write an opt-in page, and one student was selling something to parents, and I put up her original opt-in copy, and this is not a sales copy. This is just to invite parents to enter their name and email address, and I rewrote on the spot. I rewrote in 2 minutes her opt-in page using the AIDA framework: attention, interest, desire, action. And suddenly, you should have seen the faces of students. They were amazed because it completely transformed the opt-in page, and it virtually guaranteed that visitors to that page would enter their name and their email address. They were totally, it's like they couldn't believe that in 2 minutes I could change the copy to make it so effective. Another student asked me to rewrite the LinkedIn ad for her employer, which is a video production company. I rewrote the ad in like 2 minutes because I know exactly what to put in the LinkedIn ad. And LinkedIn ads are very expensive. And then she went to her boss and they changed the ad. And after that, it's really funny. After that, their website servers went down because they got too many calls to that website. Their servers exploded because my ad, which I rewrote for her, generated so much traffic. So it's not difficult for me to show people how copywriting and how salesmanship is done because I've done it before. So anyways, and by the way, this is not to brag, okay? Like, keep in mind that whenever I tell you something I've achieved in business, it's not to brag. It's to show you that I know my shit. Excuse my French. I know exactly what I'm doing. So you're learning from a master. You're not learning. I don't want to offend my management professors at McGill, but I didn't learn much from them. Anything that they taught me, I could have stayed at home and read a textbook and do the exams. There's nothing that they taught me that was practical, and I paid 3 years of my life and $15,000. That's not including textbooks. So let's put in like $1,000. So I paid $16,000, which is nothing. The worst part is that I spent 3 years learning from people who didn't have their own business. I think there was only one teacher who inspired me. His name is Robert Soroka. He was also a former lawyer, so he has a law degree, a practicing lawyer, and he was also had an MBA in marketing. And Robert would always start his lectures by asking people questions, and people would respond. And the great thing is that, if you raise your hand and you respond with him, he would give you marks. Okay, Peter, what do you think? And I would say something, and he would put like something on his list, so I get my marks. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that at Taft College because it's forbidden by policy, which is ridiculous, by the way. Like, if I don't motivate and incentivize my students to speak their mind. In other words, show me what's in their brains. How am I going to teach them? So that's ridiculous. So, anyways, you have to identify the people who are really masters of their craft, and usually they're not using PowerPoint slides. They're teaching you live, spontaneously. They are sharing with you. They're answering questions, and now, it doesn't mean that I'm right all the time. There were times when I was teaching at Taft College where students would point out something that was not consistent in my teaching, and I would thank them. Thank you. For example, I was doing a demonstration of how to create a sales funnel for calligraphy, and one student who had a master's degree in marketing from Ukraine, she said, "Well, Peter, why do you have to go through all that funnel? Just make the pitch and get them to join your calligraphy club." I said, "Yeah, you're totally right." So, I'm not perfect, but what I hope to teach you in these live streams about business is that you're going to learn so much that they didn't even teach me at McGill University. So this is extremely, extremely valuable. I can't not recommend to you enough to pull out a pen and start taking notes. And sometimes, I would say something and it would trigger an idea in your mind. Just write it down. So in addition to getting very practical knowledge from my live streams here, is that if you listen carefully and you apply to your situation, you might discover $1 million idea, and that's what I'm hoping for you. That $1 million idea that was triggered while you're listening to me or anybody else, you write it down and start implementing it, because it came to your mind for a reason. It's for you to actually implement it. All right. So what else can I teach you beside the framework for personal development secrets? So remember, sense of purpose. You have to make effort all the time, even if you're successful. You have to contribute value to people. People who are posting on Facebook, that's nice, that's cute, but I wish they would realize on LinkedIn also, they're not contributing any value. Like a lot of people, write their political opinions on LinkedIn. Who cares? Donald Trump has been elected. You should have lobbied or become an activist before Trump was elected. Now he's in power. What can you do? You're not contributing. You're just wasting people's time on LinkedIn. Same thing on Facebook. Like people are posting. It's just a waste of time. If you're serious and you really want to help your Facebook friends and you really want to help your LinkedIn network, your connections, contribute something, upload a useful video, invite them to a webinar, do something useful. Don't waste your time and other people's time just because you want likes, you want social validation, you want people to confirm your political opinion. That's just a waste of time. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Responsibility, take responsibility for the amount of money you're making right now. Your bank account right now, your brokerage account right now, you look at the number and it shows you exactly how useful you have been to other people. The amount of contribution. If you want to make more money, you have to contribute more value to the world, to your target market. You have to take responsibility. Be excellent. If you're excellent, you're going to be paid 10 times more than the next guy. Do not be number two. Be number one. I remember when I was moving out of my downtown apartment, I had this huge, I think it was like 2.5 feet, or maybe, 2.5 feet, this really tall chess trophy. And I came in fourth. You know what I did? I threw it away. I put it in the garbage. And, some guy took it afterwards, which is ridiculous because it had my name on it. But I don't want to be number four. And that huge trophy reminded me that I was number four. I was a loser. To be number two is even worse. To be number two means that you worked as hard as the other guy, but somehow he got everything, he won everything, and you won nothing. Like being number two is nothing. So aim to be number one. Now, you might think, Peter, come on, to be number one is hard. It's not hard if you choose a very specific niche and you're very creative in defining that niche. For example, I'm not the number one calligrapher in the world. It's probably John Stevens or Dennis Brown. And there's a Vietnamese calligrapher who's a little bit better than me. But I'm going to be the number one calligraphy teacher because of my website, Calligraphy for Everyone. I'm going to reach out to more people than the other calligraphy teachers and artists. So I want to be the number one calligraphy teacher or the most well-known calligraphy teacher. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to blanket all the schools, high schools, colleges, universities in North America, and then I'm going to take over Europe. I'm going to be the most well-known calligraphy teacher in the world, right? So that's what you got to do. In a similar manner, I'm not sure Bruce Lee was the best martial artist. Like, how do you define that anyways? He's never been in a mixed martial arts competition like UFC. We don't know. But one thing we know for sure is that Bruce is the most well-known kung fu artist. And he probably decided to be the most well-known kung fu teacher in the world. That's why he went into the movie business. So excellence doesn't mean you have to be the best singer, or you have to win an Oscar, or you have to be technically excellent. You define what is the field where you're going to be excellent and go after it. Practice 1,000 times. Practice something 1,000 times and spend at least 10,000 hours practicing your craft. So that's the main thing I wanted to share with you in this first hour. I've been talking for 45 minutes. So I think I'm going to stop here, because in case there's something wrong with YouTube, I'm going to stop here and I might start a second live stream. But thank you for being here. If you're watching this replay, thank you. And please do share this video with all your friends and family. They're going to thank you for it.